Reducing our dependence on foreign oil and making the air we breathe a lot cleaner. Those twin goals have led to a dramatic growth in the use of new alternative fuels, especially for diesel-powered trucks and other equipment. This fuel is called biodiesel. It's made from vegetable oil, and it has virtually zero emissions. More and more companies have made the switch to biodiesel, and now one Connecticut town, Cheshire, is using it for its municipal fleet. And I'm joined now by the man who spearheaded the move in Cheshire, Republican Councilman Tim White. Also with us is Lee Grannis, who's part of the Clean Cities, the Federal Department of Energy program. He works here in Connecticut to help promote the use of alternative fuels. Thank you both for coming in. Well, first, Smiley, you're pretty satisfied with this plan. Now, this stuff costs more than regular diesel, so why did you make the move? Usually you think, well, towns are trying to cut costs, government's trying to cut costs everywhere it can, and yet you were successful in getting this through. Why did you try to do it?
Well, it's the number one reason for me is what you were just talking to Congressman Courtney about. It's the mess in the Middle East. I just am a believer that we have to reduce our dependence on foreign oil. And as far as I'm concerned, everyone, the governments, businesses, on an individual level, we need to be making an effort toward getting away from that dependence. And this is one small step in that direction.
What did your colleagues say when you first came to them with this idea? That they kind of turn their nose up and say, biodiesel, vegetable oil, in our trucks and our bulldozers? Are you nuts?
Well, I think from my point of view, it really was a matter of getting all the facts on the table, making it clear to all the people who are going to be making the decisions. Lee here helped with that immensely. The premium that we're paying right now for the biodiesel over a regular gallon of diesel is about 4 cents.
4 cents a gallon?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that is that much, and I think, like I said, it's something we need to do. But on a $2.50 gallon of diesel, it's.
So what's the impact on your budget overall for fuel costs? With 4 cents a gallon, how much do you use?
Our Public Works Department is using it right now. Mm-hmm. We use about 40,000 gallons of gas. So at 4 cents a gallon, that's about $1,600 over the course of the year. I think it's a small price to pay for.
Sounds like a no-brainer. Are more towns inquiring now about what you've done? Have any other towns contacted you?
There are definitely other towns that are considering it. I think Lee might.
Lee?
Well, Glastonbury actually switched over already, too.
They did, too?
Yeah, they've switched over their public fleet as well as the school, and for school buses.
Now, biodiesel isn't the only alternative fuel out there. Obviously, it works particularly well with diesel vehicles, but what else is out there that municipal governments and businesses might consider and is really coming along?
Well, natural gas is another alternative fuel, and I use the term alternative fuel as which comes out of the Energy Policy Act of 1992, which delineates what they are. Out in California, the transit industry out there is using natural gas primarily for all their transit vehicles. And then in some places in Texas and in the South, they use propane. Also in places in the South where they're construction equipment, they're using 100% biodiesel. They're starting with 5% in Cheshire and going to go to 20% this summer as they learn the ins and outs of using it. And the price will go up a little bit, but it may not go up because right now with production peaking here in Connecticut and nationwide, the price will probably come down even more.
And we have BioPure in Bethlehem. Is there any other facility right now? I mean, they I understand, have really grown dramatically in the time they've been here. They just opened last summer, right?
Yes, that's right. There's several companies here that make it throughout the state. Some of them escape their names, but there's also quite a few blenders, which are people who buy biodiesel at 100%
and they blend it with regular diesel?
And blend it with regular diesel, and they get a big tax credit off of that.
No kidding.
Yeah, there's a $1 blender's fee that they can incorporate into the pricing, which helps bring the price down.
Have you found any difference in Public Works? Are they telling you that the vehicles have been running any differently than on regular fuel?
No, I haven't heard anything yet. We started about, I believe, maybe a week or two ago. We've had some snow, so we're using the Public Works trucks for sure.
Do the trucks smell different? I mean, biodiesel, we're all familiar with the smell of diesel fuel. Does this smell differently?
I think one of the benefits for the Public Works Department is you have, in a snowstorm, you have drivers who could be on the road for up to 20 hours. One of the downsides to that is the emissions. And if you're around a truck for 20 hours straight, the emissions could make the drivers a bit lightheaded. by moving toward the biodiesel, we're going to be reducing the emissions, and it's probably going to be better for the drivers. Which, what I'd really like to do, my initial thought on this was not even with our public works department. The real goal I had initially was school buses. I have asthma myself. My understanding is 10% of the kids in the country or in Connecticut have asthma, elementary school kids.
Are any school buses now using it in Connecticut?
Yes, well, like I said, Glastonbury switched over, I was told, and also Yale's student transit is using it.
Yale, okay.
But the biggest user here in the state has been the Connecticut DOT. The heavy equipment trucks, the snowplows, have been using it for about 4 years now.
No kidding.
Yes.
Didn't know that. Find out something new every day.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, Lee and Tim, for coming in today to talk with us here on Face the State. And I'll invite you to be with us here again next Sunday morning at 11 on Channel 3 when more newsmakers will face the state. Thanks, and have a great day and a great week.